Greetings, fellow YouTubers. Let's get right to the heart of the matter. While expanding on Tesla's theory, we begin to recognize the aspects of the importance of propagating waves and their frequency. What we can discover is that since higher frequency waves travel much shorter distance in the same amount of oscillations as a longer wave would, such as an ultraviolet wave or incandescent light. The comparison here is according to Tesla's theory of free electricity and free energy being kinetic. Be that it may, this white noise is kinetic. These are vortical, etheral objects, and they have a mass, and they have a force, and they have a pressure behind them. Now, expanding on Einstein's theory, he is in part right that the mass of a body also creates this gravitational effect, but it's because of this body itself that the pressure is exerted upon it. Without the body, there would be no pressure being exerted on it, and we would be in the ether, which propagates waves, properties of the pressure of this type of wave. So therefore, being a wave of high frequency and many oscillations in a short amount of distance that it will travel, shows us they travel in straight lines, as Tesla has described. These straight lines are like arrows that pierce us. Just imagine the sun shooting us with 10,000 arrows, like in the movie 300, and you begin to recognize that we are being pierced with arrows. Number one, because the event is of much more magnitude than previous expected, and they had come out and recalculated, the scientists, and also said that we miscalculated, and now we feel that it's 50% more than previously expected. But yet on this day, April 4th, when the event, this solar flare was to be ejected, the word was everything was as normal and fine and dandy. Well, we find out that it's not. We find out how the free energy works. We find out how the wavelengths travel, and we find out the exertion and the force that is the strong force. Vortical objects. Why will the Earth expand during a period of time when two large objects come in close contact with each other, two binary stars, and the effect is a magnification of the etheral medium due to the magnitude of one and then being multiplied by the magnitude of the other. Therefore, the outcome would be of greater magnitude. Waves are bad for us. I have taken shelter away from the sunlight in 6 feet of cement under a garage. The reason is I feel the effects. I can get a sense of well-being if I protect myself with metal, and if I take away that metal protection layer, I begin to feel the pressure in my head, in my nose, in my ears. The equation, energy equals mass, only because of the ethereal medium, because it is the strong force which exerts a pressure on physical material that is in a different vibration altogether. Use all the data that is provided. Therefore, Tesla is correct in saying when the ether itself, the medium, loses its special electric charge, then we, as a physical entity and a physical earth, would go back into the mist of the ether or the ether. And therefore we expand our minds and expand upon the theory to bring you new technology. Experiment with antennas that can absorb as a receiver the higher frequency wavelengths, the white noise, considered to be vortical objects or radiant energy. We learn a lot from the theory, and then we understand much more as to what can cause an earthquake, or what can cause the Earth's axis to actually shift. And we discover how a binary star, or a large massive object with a highly charged potential, can interact with the inner solar system and the sun, its binary partner, to cause angular momentum and a degenerating orbit. And we see that this turns into a torque, and this angular momentum places the torque on the axis of the sun, on the axis of its own sun, and on the axis of all the planets and Earth.